Right, hello, Mr. Sweary with the ultrasonic cleaner. It's a nice little stainless bath. Basket goes in there. Okay, you can hang it at sides, I guess, if you don't touch the bottom. And then you put a solution in here, turn on the timer, and do something else while it goes through. So, this was a cheap one I bought off eBay. You can get much bigger capacities. This is a tinchy one. So what I'm going to do, I've tried all sorts of different things, but basically it needs some sort of acidic solution. So the stuff you can buy online and so forth that seems to cost a fortune. But what I'm going to try out here is a recipe that I've heard about, which is half a litre of distilled water. Battery top-up water will do the job. 0.1 of a litre. It's supposed to be white vinegar. All I've got is malt vinegar. We'll see what happens. It may stain, I don't know. Half a teaspoon of salt, tablespoon of salt, and half a tablespoon of washing up liquid. And I hope the missus doesn't spot me with half the kitchen in my garage. Bye. Right, so there's the solution. I can go up to this line, but for this purpose of this test, I ran out of distilled water. I did about 3/4 of a litre. I'll probably get a litre in this tank. I would have thought with 0.2 of a litre of vinegar. So you can increase the mix. Now basically we've got some of the coins on this bottom row that went through the tumbler in the tumbler video. Other coins here my boys have been messing around with, but some of them really are just original. So we'll bung those in. I'll pick the dirtiest ones off this pile and put them in. I'm going to put them in to this basket, and we'll give it 15 minutes and review the situation, and then we'll try another 15 minutes. This particular device has got a duty cycle of, I think it's half an hour or 40 minutes of continuous running, and it needs a half an hour rest. So it's not particularly robust, but I wanted to find out what these things were like before I invested in a serious bit of kit, and whether it's going to be any use to me or not. We can take some bits of my carb pedestal and see if it does anything with these after the tumbler. So we can take perhaps one of the small bits off the top there, which will fit neatly in the basket. We can see what that does. Okay, right, pausing for a second. Right, so got a selection of coins in here. I think the idea is really you don't want them overlapping. They need to have basically free action. They're in a stainless basket. So the idea now is this device goes in yar, and put a lid on it as well, and then wind the timer around. It's just pinged at me, so what I do is I'm going to lift the basket out. If it will let me, it will. Get off, you bastard. Right, okay, and we're going to drop these in the cleaning tank, just to clean some of the alkaline off. And you can see the results are pretty impressive. Let's get rid of all that crap off there. Right, let's go over here. Stand it on there so we don't get too much. So basically that instantly would appear to be the best example that's come out of that machine, and that is a 1965 penny, which was very much like that. We'll do a comparison. Let's take one of the silver coins out. So this is a florin 2 shilling coin, and again you can see there's a fair cleanliness to that. I expect if I was to again give it a little bit of a buff, it may come out cleaner. Silver doesn't seem to respond quite as well as the copper in this particular solution, but it could be that different solutions deal with different coins. Again, there's a 1939 coin there. Good year for Hitler, bad year for everyone else. You can see that coin's come up nicely. And these are after just 15 minutes. This is another George VI coin. This one's from 1937. That one was quite pocket worn already, you can see. But you can see on the underside, you can see the bar marks from the cage where it was sitting face down. Again, not a bad effort. Probably come up a bit cleaner. Here is a 1963 coin. Again, fairly dirty, probably been in the ground for some time. Elizabeth II coin. It has cleaned quite a lot of the old crud off, and you can see the copper coming through. So a little bit more treatment with that one. It's a very old one, George V. And that one is 1912. So that's the 1912 coin that we had in the tumbler. That's come through again, nice and shiny. There's a Victorian coin here. This one's really pocket worn. It was before it went in there, 18 something or other. So that one is, it looks like 1884. But that was really pocket worn before it went in there. But again, you can see that the copper is shining through. And then lastly, another 2-shilling coin. The silver, as I say, doesn't work as well in the solution as it did in the tumbler. So all in all, after an hour and, sorry, the coins went into the tumbler for about 40 minutes. And some of these coins have come out better after 15 minutes in the ultrasonic bath. But different ways of cleaning different things. Right, what I'm going to do now, I've got this carb pedestal which I've taken apart. This is the thing bent stand which I'm going to try and straighten out. So I'm going to chuck one half of it in the tumbler, and I'm going to put the other half into this ultrasonic bath. I'm going to see what happens here. So I've got the two halves, plus we've got this whacking great spring. I shall put that in there for 15 minutes and we'll see what happens. Okay, so minute cycle. This white stuff on the top here was pouring off the bits that were inside the bath. So let me lift the bath out for a second and see where we are with this. They look a fair bit cleaner. There's a penny in there as well. They look a fair bit cleaner, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bung it in for another 15 minutes and see if I can get those properly clean. I mean, obviously they look shiny at the moment because they're wet, but they do certainly look a fair bit cleaner. It looks like it's agitated some of the dirt. The penny that's in there was the very dirty penny that was half clean that I pulled out. As you can see, it's further cleaned it. There's less dirt on it now. But those two bits, I'm quite impressed with that. So I'll put those back in for another 15 minutes. And it's just pinged. So this is half an hour of working in the solution. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a clean off first of all. I'll let those dry off. You can see the spring looking a lot cleaner. Right then, so for the polishing, all I'm really going to do is take it out of the tank using the wife's toothbrush. I'll just give it a run over, and that surface is so smooth. I mean, to be honest, it's never really going to get back to its original finish because that's long since gone. But what we've got here, this is after an hour in the tank, in the tumbler, and then 30 minutes in that little ultrasonic tank. It's brought up a finish which is, to be honest, ready for replating. Now you either paint it or you it's got all the sand off it as well, which is nice. So either replate it in a zinc plating kit, or stick it somewhere else. And then much the same with this fella here. So again, using the wife's trusty toothbrush, I'm quite impressed with the way this thing is cleaned up. Obviously the original coating, as we found on the other half, is long gone, but you can actually see some of it coming through. So it kind of just needs a bit more zinc plating. Let's get some cloth just to clean that off. Look at how that's come up. So I'm actually quite pleased with that compared to how it was before. It's better than a kick in the face, put it that way. Where's the other bit? Spring. This is the spring that went in there, and this barely needs anything at all, and I can see that is coming up like new in various machines and bits and bobs. Where's that penny gone? So this is the penny that was partly dirty and partly cleaned. That's just pinged. Let's do another 15 minutes. You know, it's the red wine there. We've had the coffee, we're now on the red wine. Civilised car working. It looks very clean and shiny, but that's largely because of the bubbles and so forth on it. It's actually not bad. Right, so let's move that out of the way. Let's look at the Jubilee clip first of all. So again, it's just been in plain water just to get the acid neutralised. Probably need to have something more alkaline than that, because I've got quite a lot of vinegar. Let me turn this thing on. It's quite distracting. Right, okay, so it's coming up quite nicely there. Yeah, that Jubilee clip is really back to its original plate. I'd have no real harm in using that again. I can't remember what it is off now, but it's cleaned up pretty nice. There's a bit more work. It would look like brand new, but I mean, it's only a Jubilee clip. I'm not particularly fussed about that. These are the bits which are more difficult to come by, and again, it's just been had an hour burst in the tumbling, and then it's had half an hour in the ultrasonic bath, and we've got a nice smooth surface now. Very, very smooth. I mean, obviously it's wet because it's just come out of the water, and I'll dry it and clean it properly, but that is, in my mind, I'd be happy to stick that in the plater. This is stuck on the basket. That's the basket out of the way. Again, I'd be happy to put this straight into the electroplate, which is going to be the next thing I'm going to demonstrate. My little electroplate, £100 kit off eBay, which I could have probably done for way cheaper, but I wanted to see what it was like. Again, you can see bits of this are bent. I don't quite know what the previous owner was up to with this particular device. I will try and straighten it out and get it rebuilt as it would originally come out of the factory. And like I say, next step, electroplating. Right.